Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, praise and gratitude
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Allah has bestowed on you so that we can gather in good health this morning. Don't forget to pray and greetings. May they continue to be devoted to our guidance, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, we are going to a presentation about the material is the use of extensive reading in teaching reading. We are from group 7. Okay, just to shorten our time to the first speaker, namely Endang Supriatin. For Endang Supriatin, time is yours.
Reading is a complex, multi-phased activity involving a combination of both lexical and text progressing skills that are widely recognized as being interactive. Loki 2005. It is why students are likely to be hesitant readers because reading in a foreign language is not easy. Therefore, teachers need to find an appropriate technique to encourage students' interest and to build their self-confidence in reading. One technique that can be applied in teaching reading is extensive reading. However, in various levels of Indonesian school dominantly adjust to extensive reading to fill the gap. The present study intends to find out benefits of using extensive reading in teaching reading. That's all from me, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Endang, for your presentation about your material. Okay, for the next material is presentation by me. So, I'm going to present about the nature of reading. Reading can be defined as a process to understand the meaning of a written text by Richard and Smith. All yourself enlightens that in a reading process, a reader will extract the meaning from a text by interacting dynamically with using various kinds of knowledge science. Reading is a complex, multifaceted activity involving a combination of both lexical and text progressing skills that are widely recognized as being interactive. Reading receives a special concentration in many second and foreign language teaching situations by Richard and Renandia. However, many students are not used to reading English material because reading as foreign language context is not easy. This issue has been one of the reasons why students are likely to be hesitant readers. Okay, I think that's all for me. For the third speaker is Miss FITA Ramadhani. For FITA Ramadhani, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for your opportunity given to me the material, the nature of native reading. The nature of extensive reading. Extensive reading is a technique in teaching reading which is defined as a situation where students read a lot of material in their level in a new language. They read for general, for overall meaning, and for information at one with enjoyment. It is project to positive attitude toward reading, to develop good reading habits, to construct vocabulary and structured knowledge. The concept of extensive reading is exposing students to an input-rich and enjoyable environment, with the intention that their to learn will develop naturally. In learning process, teachers take an important role that is to remind students motivation and create motivation in students, if there is none. In addition, teachers' role in extensive reading program are to develop students a lifelong interest in reading and its application to their daily lives. Okay, that's all my material and thank you.
Okay, thanks Vita Ramadhani. For the next material is presentation by Berlin. For Berlin, Syaputri, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. The next material is the benefit and limitation of extensive reading. In its implementation, extensive reading has several benefits. The first one is the choice in reading material. Students can choose what they want to read. The second benefit is developing students' vocabulary. In relation to this, Nuttall states that an extensive reading is the single most effective way of improving both vocabulary and reading skill in general. Another benefit is that regarding to students' readiness to have activities in the classroom, because they have read the material before, they can follow the classroom activities related to extensive reading well. In short, Grabe, as cited in Wilkinson, discussed some of the benefits of extensive reading that to build vocabulary and structural awareness, enhance background knowledge, develop automaticity, improve comprehension skill, and promote confidence and motivation. Apart from the aforementioned extensive reading benefit, it has limitation. Limitation is the lack of reading material which are suitable with students' level. Not all of schools can provide English reading material, which are together with a variety of reading material on a wide range of topics. To overcome it, for the orientation of extensive reading, teacher can provide reading material for the student. The next limitation is there is no test to evaluate and keep track of students' reading progress. Teacher can offer follow-up activity after reading. That's all for me. I return it to moderator.
Okay, thanks, Berlin. I want to invite for the next material is SUHARMIN MEILANI. For SUHARMIN MEILANI, times is yours.
Okay, thanks to the moderator. I will explain about the extensive reading activities. The basic activity in extensive reading is reading, meaning that students will assign to read. To keep track with students' reading, teachers should encourage them to report back their reading in certain ways. For example, employing reading journal, make a group discussion, and ask students to read aloud their favorite part. I think that's all. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thanks for your presentation. For the next material is presentation by Ulfa Nur Hasanah. For Ulfa, time is yours.
Okay. From Merriam, 1988, in Gulf, 2008, a qualitative case study can be defined as an intensive, holistic description and analysis of a single entity, phenomenon, or social unit. Case studies are particularistic, descriptive, and heuristic, relying heavily on inductive reasoning in handling multiple data sources. So the study was conducted in one of the public junior high school in Bandung, and the participants were 33 students of second grade. And then triangulation technique was used in collecting the data in the study. From Creswell 2012, triangulation combines the strengths of one type of method and neutralizes the weaknesses of the other. So accordingly, there are three instruments in collecting the data in this study. There are classroom observation, questionnaire, and interview. So classroom observation were held for for meetings, and observation sheet and field notes were utilized to record notes about the participant behavior and performance during the observation. The observation sheet was not utilized in the first meeting because there was no any follow-up activity related to extensive reading in the first meeting, and the teacher just simply gave assignment related to extensive reading, which were reading homework and completing reading journal. The follow-up activity in the classroom include group discussion related to the text, sharing about the text, and reading aloud a favorite part of the text. In the process, the teacher provided some text to be chosen by students as their reading homework. After the implementation of extensive reading, the closed-ended and open-ended questionnaire were distributed to the students. So in the interpreting the students' score of closed-ended questionnaire, the interval score of questionnaire was developed. Maybe that's all I can say. I return to moderator.
Okay, thanks Ulfa Nur Hasanah. I want to invite for the next speaker is Shagita. For Shagita, time is yours.
Okay, moderator. The benefit of using extensive reading in teaching reading. The finding from the observation show that most students seem to enjoy doing the reading homework. The student choose that the text to be read at home and also research about their experience in reading the text passionately. This finding is in line and statement of the and Bamford that students take pleasure in extensive reading program because they can choose what they want to read. The data show that the student participate activity in the group discussion to discuss and answer the question related to the two texts. In sharing the result from group discussion during the observation, the students shared in passionately. The student encouraged sharing what they acquired from their group discussion because they had read the text before and they also had group discussion related to the text. During the sharing progress, almost all of the students raised their hand. The data show some students who were indicated as motivated students want to read aloud their favorite part in every meeting, although they had read in the previous meeting since they had composed in before. In general, the data analysis showed that benefit gained by the student were acquiring new vocabulary, enjoying reading. 28 students answered that they were motivated to reading, while 8 students answered that they were fairly motivated. Based on the data, the student perceived several benefits from the use of extensive reading. The extract below are some examples of benefit perceived by the student. In conclusion, there are several benefits of using extensive reading activities in teaching reading class were found. Those are building students' perspective that reading is fascinating activity, reading enjoyable learning atmosphere, helping students in developing a wide vocabulary, improving student reading comprehension, and increasing student motivated in reading. Okay, thank you, moderator.
Okay, thank you, Shagita, for your presentation. I want to invite the last speaker is Nur Hidayanti. For Nur Hidayanti, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to present the student attitude to the use extensive reading in their reading class. The findings from field notes and observation sheet show that the most of the students show positive attitude towards the use of extensive reading. activity in their reading class, especially for the classwork. Therefore, if the teacher established extensive reading in class, it will bring a positive way, provide reading material which are attractive and meet with the student level and support the student material in doing extensive reading. Student will encounter reading for enjoyment and bring in a language learning. Figure 2, the questionnaire score in continuity scale. Based on the interview, all of the students said that they were happy to have reading homework by given the teacher. So this finding indicates the teacher role is needed here. In extensive reading, teacher roles are to develop student a lifelong interest in reading and its application to their daily life. So the result from the all observations show that the students show positive behavior during the implementation of extensive reading in their reading class, especially for the classwork. While for the homework to complete the reading journal, some students show negative behavior. So that's all from me. I give it back to Model.
Okay, thank you for the last speaker. So the conclusion for the discussion today is the study found that extensive reading was beneficial in teaching reading. Extensive reading helped the student to build perspective that reading English text is a fascinating activity. In line with this, the student motivation in reading also increased after the implementation of extensive reading. Moreover, extensive reading helped teachers to create enjoyable atmosphere in learning. In relation to teaching reading, extensive reading helped the student in developing a wit, vocabulary, and improving their studying comprehension. Their reading comprehension. In addition, most students had positive attitude toward the use of extensive reading in their reading class. I think enough for presentation today. With the end of our presentation today, as well as the end of our discussion for today. Thank you for your attention and presence. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.